Hello, and thank you so much for joining me in this journey of getting certified on the Salesforce platform as a platform app builder. My name is Mike Wheeler, and I have 6 Salesforce certifications. I work every day on the platform as a developer and a consultant and solution architect. And I also teach Salesforce on the Udemy platform, and that's why you're here, is to get certified as a platform app builder. I want to tell you a little bit about this particular certification. This is the first certification that I ever got on the Salesforce platform, but back then it was known as the developer or beginning developer, or sometimes referred to even as the developer 401 certification. Salesforce has since retired that particular certification, and they're transitioning over to calling this the platform app builder certification. And so just to lay the groundwork for you here at the start, there's no coding experience required. You're not expected to know how to do Visualforce coding or Apex coding or even write a trigger. This particular certification takes you right up to the line of where you begin to need to write code, and it tests your knowledge extensively on how well you know the platform on the declarative side, and that means clicks instead of code. And so this is considered the beginning developer course and certification for Salesforce. And once you complete this course, we should cover all core concepts that you need in order to pass the Platform App Builder certification exam. And so let me tell you a little bit about this course and how it's laid out. I go through each section of the exam guide, and the exam guide is available online as a downloadable PDF, and I'll also link to it in the resources section of this particular lecture and in several others as well. And the way that I've laid out this course is each section is segmented to a corresponding section of the exam guide. And so some of those sections in the exam guide and as well in the course include Salesforce fundamentals as well as data modeling and management. And then we get into security. All of these sections are really key in order to understand the platform and to pass the test. And then from there we go into business logic and process automation. This is the largest section of the course and goes into workflows and process builders and flows and any sort of automation and business logic as well. Next, we have a small section on social parts of the exam and how that works on Salesforce as well. So I'll show you how to connect Facebook and Twitter, for instance, and connect leads and contact records to their Twitter and Facebook accounts. And then we get into the user interface and how to customize that. And this is a really interesting section of the course because we get into not only Salesforce Classic, we also deal extensively in Lightning Experience, which is the new interface for Salesforce. And I show you how to do Lightning pages as well. But not only that, we also get into the Salesforce One mobile app. And so this is one of the main designations or distinctions between the old Developer 401 certification and what I'm seeing now in the new Platform App Builder exam, is that the Platform App Builder is Salesforce's way of testing your knowledge not only on the classic interface but also on Salesforce One for mobile and the new Lightning Experience. And so the interface section, the user interface section, is where we get into all that. And then we get into reporting. This is the analytics side of Salesforce, and we get into not only reports but dashboards and analytic snapshots, which are also referred to as reporting snapshots. And then to round out the course, the final few sections, we get into mobile. These are mobile specific things for the Salesforce One app. And I'll show you how to customize that experience for end users. And we get into mobile specific things that are newer on the Salesforce platform, such as object specific actions, for instance, and how to change the navigation menu and add Visualforce pages to the navigation menu in Salesforce One Mobile. And then the last section, as it relates to the exam guide, has to do with app deployment. And that's where we get into change sets and the Force.com migration tool and other ways of moving data and metadata between Salesforce organizations. You'll be tested on that as well in this exam. And the final section of the course is where I get into some helpful tips on how to take the exam, how to register for the exam. I even go into some test-taking strategies and how to approach questions. Also, throughout this course, I go through some of the sample exam questions that you'll find in the exam guide. Towards the end of the exam guide, there's 5 different sample questions, and when these come into play for the topics that are covered in these sample questions, I devote a lecture to each of these sample questions and show that on the screen, and we go over the actual question and then what's the right answer, what's the wrong answer, etc. Also important to note is at the end of each section, I have a quiz for each section. This gives you the chance to kind of cement in the knowledge that you've acquired and to test your retention of these concepts and to get an idea if you're prepared to take the certification exam or not. So there's no prerequisites required in order to take this exam. You do not have to have any other certifications before trying to attain this one. And so you can jump right in and start your journey down the path of learning Salesforce by learning the platform app builder concepts and going for this particular certification. That's what I did back when it was the Developer 401 certification. I went with Developer first, and then I went back and got my admin certifications. In addition to the quizzes at the end of each section and the helpful practice activities where I give you chances to get hands-on experience on the platform and apply what you're learning, we're also going to be creating an app throughout the course of this particular course, and it is a IMDb clone app. The Internet Movie Database is probably the closest thing to a relational database that most people out in the world experience online and are familiar with. And so we're going to be building a similar sort of app on Salesforce and make it lightning experience and Salesforce One friendly. And in the end, you'll be able to add movies and associate different actors or actresses or directors, etc. And we'll be getting into the different types of productions, for instance, whether it's a TV show, a video game, or a movie. And so I've structured this course so that we're not only covering the core concepts, but we've come up with a unique original app that we can build that you can then use for your own purposes and learning and extend out and customize further. And so let's get started by next signing up for a free Salesforce account.